All right, you guys. Today we're talking about getting paid. Payoffs, that is. Who has a successful payoff? Who does not? Were there any payoffs that were not delivered on? Spoilers, yes. The answer is yes. There were a lot of payoffs in Naruto that were not delivered on. A lot of things that got set up that didn't get paid off. So we're going to talk about those payoffs, which ones were missed, or in the case that the character did have their full payoff, what was the payoff? So let's take a look. Bam, Naruto. A very loaded question to start with. Our boy, the Naruto, immediately into the video. Was he paid off? Okay. Well, I mean, one theme that we've been touching on in the last videos is, of course, the main dichotomy of the show: the hard worker genius. The hard worker genius payoff is not paid off with Naruto because it turns out that he is the reincarnation of frickin' Indra, I think. Or no, Ashura. Indra's the Sharingan guy. He's the reincarnation of Ashura, who is the son of the Sage of Six Paths, who is the god of ninjutsu, and his crazy mother, who is the sort of evil ultimate goddess of ninjutsu. Man, we don't talk about Kaguya very much. That should be its own topic, I think. So, in some respects, Naruto isn't paid off. In some respects, he is though. Like, he's always shown to not be book smart, right? Naruto is like he's a hands-on learner, and that stays consistent throughout the whole show. And that his sort of hands-on learning does pay off. Like his power-ups all kind of make sense, except toward the very end in the war arc. And the war arc just goes completely off the fucking rails. Like, everything goes insane. Kakashi has a Susanoo. Naruto is the Sage of Six Paths all of a sudden. Like, shit just goes absolutely bazonkers. But, when Naruto's training when he's using the Shadow Clone training method, that makes sense. We've seen him do a lot of Shadow Clones. It makes sense that the Shadow Clones relay information to him when they go poof. Otherwise, he wouldn't know what was going on. So that's cool when he learns the Rasengan, when he upgrades it to the Wind Rasengan, training with Yamato and Kakashi and stuff. His training arcs make sense. There aren't a lot of times in the show where you feel like Naruto got sort of unearned power, except at the very end. It seems like his payoff is, in terms of his character arc, the fact that he has to learn and he kind of goes from nothing, even though he has a lot of chakra, that is consistent, and that is a payoff, I would say. That you see him get strong, and it's satisfying and done in a satisfying way. I mean, his friendship with Sasuke is set up and pays off at the end when he finally gets Sasuke, and there is something kind of amusing or enjoyable about that, where at the very end, after they've solved all the problems, they have to fight one last time, and it's even though everyone is saved and the world is saved, Sasuke turns to him and he's like, "Nah, I'm still gonna kill you," and they have to have that final confrontation. It's not elegant. Their connection is not, it's not perfect, but they do have that Valley of the End showdown. So I think generally Naruto's paid off. One thing that doesn't really pay off is that he's a nobody, right? The idea at the beginning, which maybe nobody ever believed. He's the son of the fourth Hokage. He's the reincarnation of Ashura, which is even more ridiculous, I guess. So yeah, he is a hard worker, but he does also have a lot sort of handed to him. Even just being an Uzumaki, which ends up being a big deal. And I mean, at the beginning, we didn't know anything about Uzumaki. We thought it was a Naruto-only clan. But they have infinite chakra, seemingly. Nagato, even Karin to a lesser extent. All right, let's move on. Excuse me. Oh, we've got a ridiculous one. You know what? I'm glad that Hanabi is here because now we can talk about all the Hyuga generally. The Hyuga have a lot that doesn't pay off. A lot is set up, and a lot is forgotten about. The whole main branch and what are they called? The branch, the main branch and the side branch, the co-branch, the branch family. I think they're just called the branch. Are they? I don't remember. Shit. Anyway, the curse seal thing. It seems like there is a huge injustice in the Hyuga clan. Um, Obviously, with regards to Hanabi, Hanabi also isn't really paid off. She's sort of set up as her dad Hiyashi thinks she's better than Hinata, and we have maybe like a second of that, maybe one panel in the comic, and it's never really addressed again. We don't see anything about Hinata. Really, we don't really see anything about Hanabi either. She's training. She's better than Hinata. Hiyashi wants her to be the replacement, which I guess that's hard on Hinata. Hanabi is younger than her. There's tension there. Obviously, her dad doesn't think very highly of Hinata. So it kind of sets you up for Hanabi to like go in there and I guess usurp the position of the inheritor of the Hyuga main branch family. Doesn't happen. Nothing really happens with the Hyuga. Do they ever get rid of their horrible like forehead branding practice? Not in the main series. I don't know if it's addressed in Boruto. I guess it would have to be because one of Naruto's kids, I guess both of them have the Byakugan, and if they're not in the main branch, I guess Hinata is in the main branch, so her children would be main branch. They wouldn't be branded on their forehead. But that's still a fucked up thing to do, you know? You should not, especially if Naruto is Hokage, which eventually he is. And, that goes for anybody. Kakashi, I'm looking at you too. Having this practice where Hyuga have basically like death seals put onto their forehead to be activated at the whim of any main branch family member. That's horrible. That is some freaky eugenics shit, and I will not stand for it. It was never paid off. It was never discussed. After Neji has his arc in the Chunin exams, and he feels good about his dad's choice to die as a free man, dying to protect the main branch family, but it's his choice. None of that shit really gels or makes sense when you think about it again. Like, the Hyuga are fucked up. They have this horrible, immoral practice that they aren't forced to give up. It seems like Hiyashi likes Neji a bit more and is like a bit less, just he hates the branch less. He discriminates against Neji a little bit less after the Chunin exams, and Neji and Hinata train. But, like, you gotta get rid of that. You gotta get rid of the forehead seal. That's fucked up and cruel and awful. And children shouldn't be branded with this death seal in the Hyuga family. Hanabi never pays off her usurping of Hinata. And in fact, we never really see Hinata inherit the Hyuga clan either in the comic. I'm sure there's maybe some anime filler about it. And yeah, we never see Neji kind of, as the proposed, the so-called genius of the Hyuga. We don't really see him, like, take on that role in any meaningful way. Basically, the Hyuga just go away. So this is a huge one for, like, no payoffs. I think everything to do with the Hyuga does not get paid off. It's set up to be really important before Shippuden. Nothing happens with him in Shippuden, and really nothing happens with him after the Chunin exams either. They're kind of a Chunin exam family arc only. They're one arc characters, so there's a lot of payoff. A lot of lack of payoff. Now this is interesting. Is anything not paid off with Kakashi? There's a lot of setup with him, right? His friends died. How did they die? There's a whole side story detailing exactly how they died. The Kakashi Gaiden, or the Gaiden, and that, I think the comic of that comes out before Shippuden, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So it's like the whole run of Naruto, then Kakashi Gaiden, which shows him working with the fourth Hokage as a kid. You see Obito die. and he gets his Sharingan. So this is like his setup is really crucially paid off. And of course, it becomes one of the most important things to pay off in the war arc. Turns out the guy with the mask is Obito, Kakashi's friend, and they have a whole tense, relationship together as they work through that shit and punch each other through the heart and so on. So in that sense, it is paid off. It's not really clear how Kakashi gets his Mangekyo. It is sort of clear. There is a panel in the comic where you see Obito seeing Rin die. Kakashi has to kill her because she's going to be captured and she's going to have her tailed beast extracted, which is crazy. I never knew she had a tailed beast in her. Apparently she had the 3 tails. And I guess the Cloud was after her. The Cloud are always fucking with. Oh no, was it Mist? Maybe it was Mist. They were trying to get her. Kakashi has to kill her because she's going to die either way. And, they don't want the Mist to have the tailed beast, whatever. You see Obito sees this. His Mangekyo awakens. He kills all the Mist Ninja. And then you see Kakashi's eye, the one Obito gave him, also kind of awakens. So does it just mean, like, if you split your eyes up and you induce a Mangekyo awakening, does that mean the other one automatically awakens too? It's just a minor question, right? We sort of see how it works. It's not like a big misstep or anything like that. One thing that doesn't really come up or get paid off is Kakashi's dad. Sakumo, is that his name? Sakamoto? Something like that. Kakashi's dad was a big deal. He was as strong or stronger than the Sannin, than Jiraiya, Tsunade, Orochimaru, etc. The White Fang, he was called. He had a lightsaber, which is cool. And apparently he failed a mission to sort of protect his friends, and that brought him great shame, and he just fucking offed himself like a badass, like a ninja. Which led Kakashi to sort of have an outlook rejecting his father's choice, then eventually embracing it when he realizes that friends are very important, presumably when he loses all of his friends. And we don't really see him. It's not a big misstep, but like, for such a cool character and for a series that calls back so many things and has so many characters, it's kind of a shame that we don't get to see Kakashi's dad do anything cool. And Kakashi's lightsaber breaks in the Kakashi Gaiden arc, which is also too bad, because that's kind of an interesting weapon. I guess in the end it's not that different from anything else, like Sasuke's electric swords, or the frickin' samurai guys who just make swords out of chakra, whatever. They suck. So I think a lot of things were paid off with Kakashi. He is a main character after all. Oh, baby! This is a great looking card. This looks great. Oh, this is really good. This is D. This is Darui. And he's a cool guy. This is a great OR. Look at that black lightning. Hey, I saw a great video. This is not something that I knew about. In comics, there's like an enormous trend. Like, once you look at it, an undeniable trend to have African American characters have electric powers, have lightning powers. I recommend looking up that video. You can probably find it. It all started when like one guy had an African American character with lightning power, and then like the rights of the character got all messed up, and it caused other artists and other, I guess, works that the company made to be iterated on. So basically every time they were like, oh, that character was cool, can we use him? Oh, we don't know. Okay, just make a new black character who has electric power. And that kept happening, and that character kept getting iterated on like a million times. And as a result, there were just like a huge number of black male characters who had electric power. And I'm kind of, giving you the short version. But anyway, it's an interesting video, worth checking out. Surprising to see that was a trend. I had no idea. But then you start thinking about it, and you're like, oh, wait, like Storm from X-Men, and like then there's more and more, and there more and more. Anyway, Darui has cool powers. he is a cool guy. I like his laser powers. I like his lightning powers. Um, Nothing with the Cloud is really set up or paid off in any meaningful way because they're late to the game, right? You don't really see much from the other villages until the very end, until the war arc. And I would say what is set up with Darui is paid off. He's shown to be powerful. He goes up against Sasuke with Gaara and with some of the other Kages when Sasuke is at the meeting and he's fighting all the Kages. And you see him shoot big lightning, and, you can see that he earns his position as the bodyguard, one of the bodyguards of the alphabetical A Kage from the Cloud, with his bodyguards C and D, Darui, and of course Killer B being the B in that equation. Not sure if any of the other Cloud characters are the other letters and so forth. Maybe. I guess there's several other Cloud characters. I should check if one of them has a name that starts with E. Great card. Cool. Love ORs. Final card. Well, luckily we have nothing to talk about with this girl because the video is running long anyways. She's from an anime movie or something. She has crystal powers. She looks like a friendly lady, but I guess she's bad. She's a bad lady. She wears rope like Orochimaru. Okay, there's a funny theory about Orochimaru. I'll just end with this. You know, in the Chunin exams, I guess he possesses the body of a girl ninja from the grass, and that girl ninja is wearing Orochimaru's classic outfit. She's wearing like the beige tunic or whatever, and she has the purple rope, and like that girl is just like wearing that clothing, and Orochimaru takes over her body. So people are like, did Orochimaru just really like her clothes? Is that what happened? He just loved her clothing and he was like, this is sick, I'm gonna wear this forever. And I think there's some weird discrepancy, like in the past he didn't wear that clothing or something like that, in the manga at least. And then it is like, oh, that girl from the Chunin exams really is the one, like that's her clothing, and like her buddies are also dressed like that, I think. So the implication is like Orochimaru didn't put on new clothing. That girl just wears purple rope and she wears like a beige cloak or robe or whatever. So like what? Orochimaru just really loved that, I guess, and now he always wears it. That's his main outfit. That's funny. That's weird. It's a funny little inconsistency. Anyways, the belt reminded me of that. Cool. Well, we got a new HR, which we did not have, and we've got a wonderful new OR. Oh yeah. I hope you pay yourself off.